Okay, I wanted to start today with talking about what I actually wanted to achieve with my text drawing. So suppose we have a character like this, maybe a bit larger. Here we have a character. And this character is having its box that is defined within, right? That's the box that I'm drawing it within. This box, of course, is having some coordinates. So, we can just call it like -1, -1, -1, and 1, 1, and -1, and then 1, 1, right? Okay, all good. So that's our box. For some characters, it might be a little bit different. So, just to make it very, very easy, right? This might be like minus... this might be -0.7 and -0.5 on this top corner. So different coordinates. And then also we have a distance between characters, and that is defined by this character right here. So the step between characters is defined by the character that we're currently drawing. All right. So in my OpenGL buffer, I need to know a couple of things. I need to know the vertices. So this is like pseudocode, right? So we need to have the vertex these, right? Like this. We need to have the offsets. And that can be like a static integer, because when we are drawing it later, we are taking the vertex's offsets and we are drawing 6 vertexes from the offsets, right? So we're having, V1, V2, V3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay. This, no, V0, of course. So this is our A. Here is our B. And our C is after that, and so on and so on. So when I'm taking the offset here, if this is equals to 6, then we're drawing the B. If it's equal to 12, we're drawing the C. If it's equal to 0, it's equal to the A. I think that makes sense. Now, these vertices are not laid out exactly like this. They are actually laid out like this. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So they are actually like that, but we are having indices that are 0, 1, 2, 0, 2, 3. And here the indices are, well, 4, 5, 6, yeah, 4, 5, 6, 4, 6, 7. 8, 9, 10, 8, 10, 11, you know, and so forth. That makes sense so far. These also have the UVs. That's what actually is deciding which character we're drawing, because we're having this texture. So we're having obviously the texture here. Or well, this goes into the pixel shader, I guess. And then obviously also we need to know where to put these. So we are having a M4 right? So that will determine the first position here, where it should go. And then you have the next and the next and the next, but they are all being drawn to the same place, except we also need to have a F32 offset. Well, not offset, X position, or like X cursor. And depending on this offset, so you see this, the offset can be 0, 4, or 8. The offset is actually 0, and then it's like offset times 4 plus 0. Like that's kind of the formula. And then you see that works on times 4. So now this is the same for all of them. We just have offset 0, 1, 2, and 3. So you can see here, okay, 4 times 2 is 8 plus 0. So it's 8, 9, 10, 8, 10, 11, right? And we can also use this offset for the cursor. So we are having the world mat vertex offset. Then we take, well, v.x plus equals the cursor x. So what is the cursor x? Well, it's the offset from the 0 position based on the offset. And you can imagine a offset, the cursor x for 0 would be 0. For this one, it might be, 14.5, or like, just say like 14 pixels. It might even be I32, right? And then here, we need to calculate this before we draw. But this would be 30, maybe. This would be 44, something like that. And those are all pre-calculated, but assigned, or like, they need to be uploaded to the graphics card once for a given string. Alternatively, so like you can have two modes of drawing. You can have not a monospaced font. I actually no. I don't know if there would be a way to add this up as you do it, because it's inherently like multi-threaded, right? So it's not like doing one vertex after the other necessarily. It's doing like I don't know, 100 of them at the same time. So you can't really rely on the result of the previous ones. Then you might as well just do it on the CPU and upload it. The one thing you could do is have a monospaced font. And there is actually a way to take any font and you can make it monospaced by taking like I is very small compared to the C. So you just add this buffer next to it. So now this is monospace, like sort of. It doesn't look as good, obviously, and there's some like more processing you can do to make it look better. But like there's some way of making it monospaced. That does work more generally. That's a mode that you could imagine being useful. But in effect, I just need to calculate that using this KB text shaper and shape run. Because I don't think there's a better way to do it. Like you have to do it for every given string, I think. So anyway, that's kind of my idea. Now, I know that this is possible with instancing because this is just like an I32 buffer with the offsets that are pre-calculated. Vertexes, I already have. This offset, it would basically replace the buffer for indices. Then you wouldn't step 4 indices at a time or 6 indices at a time, because all of them are having the same amount of vertexes. 4 vertices drawn 6 times to make a quad. So, like, this is what I need to learn how to call this. So in my OpenGL, we are having this draw arrays instanced. I wonder if one of the other modes would be better. I don't believe it would be. Right now, I'm just using GL triangles because I need to draw a full quad, which is 2 triangles. I have the vertices already in my buffer. These things. And then after drawing 2, I need to just like step. Like I need to draw a completely different character at a different step. So it doesn't make sense to make a strip, I don't think. The starting index in the enabled arrays instance count. So here's where I need to learn a little bit about OpenGL shader language, because we want to take this like pseudocode. This is, you know, that's kind of like just notes. Pixel shader, vertex shader. Here we go. So we have our matrix, transform matrix. We also need to have, so this would be it would be a varying. I'm not 100% sure about these OpenGL. They're having these keywords, right? So varying is something that is coming in. Book of shaders. I've heard something nice about this website. Contains data shared from a vertex shader to a fragment shader. We don't want to share that. 4.0, I forget. Keywords. Uh-huh. It's not so many, actually. Deprecated. Okay. Value does not change. Deprecated. I guess in that context, it's deprecated. So we have attributes, uniform, const, varying, layout. So here, we have the uniform. Uniform is this thing that is like constant, sort of, for that like it's a variable that is set before the call, but it's constant for all of the vertices. If I understand it correctly. Yeah, 435 uniform. Global variables who are the same across the entire primitive being processed. When they say primitive, I think they actually mean the triangle. They mean triangle plural, right? Because these are all primitives as in triangles, but there's many of them. So that's what they mean by the entire primitive, I believe. Then we have attributes. No, there's no chapter with that. In So I remember setting up this attributes. They are part of the shader Like it's just defining where that data is coming from in the shader. So I have an attribute in the shader. I tell the size of it, where it is in the struct, the name of it that I use when compiling, right? How large it is. It's a float times 2. And then I bind a buffer with vertex data, and then I use that. Mm-hmm. I create the shader program, and I'm using these uniforms, these attributes also, to make my shader program. So here I'm creating a buffer. I'm binding my vertex data into it. And because the shader program has no, it's also part of this. Okay. Attributes. It's also part of that. So here's an element array buffer, which is a U32. These are my indices, but this might just as well be the offsets in my pseudocode. Because this is like 0, 1, 2, 0, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4, 6, 7. I can just make a const here. Int no? By the way, if I run this, fine. But I wanted to know if it compiles. I hope I am checking that. Texture and here. Really? This is having shader and 1 and 2. 1 and 2. 1 and 2. I'm not sure, like maybe it's tied to the program. I'm not really sure. I'm guessing they're different. Interesting. So it looks like that is compiling just fine. Because I'm not getting any errors. I can do something like this. And there's no errors. Oh no. Font, vertex shader. No? Mm-hmm. It's definitely funky. No error. Void nothing. Maybe just ignores it. What? Now that's funny. It's also void. What? Why is it not complaining? Hello? Um, Weird. Okay. Well, now I would expect it to be fine. Can I have, is there there has to be some kind of extension for that. Sure. I why am I having the weirdest errors all the time? No error. That's no issue, please, at all, apparently. Oh, now I'm getting an error. Where? In OpenGL. But why am I not getting an error? like, I would like to know if the shader I'm creating can't compile. But apparently, this is completely valid shader code right here. No issues. And if it's not, I don't know how to find out. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the function call was valid. I need to query the shader object state. Get shader IV. So that's vertex shader p name. Compile status. What's the last success? Oh. Well, I have the source, but I don't have its name. It's funny it works that way. Shader cannot compile. Thank you. Obviously, I need to do the same thing for the pixel shader. Uh, so yeah, in the future, ideally, probably I would like to have the path there and load it, or some kind of compressed object with metadata, because right now, yeah, this is not the final thing that I would like to make. So it doesn't make sense for me to just add, the path to this at this moment. But that's good. Now I will be able to tell, oh, GLSL for Vulkan. I'm not using Vulkan though. No, dude. What's the issue? Location L. I'm on Windows, which means 4.6. Is what I'm using. Yeah. Why is this an issue? I don't get it. Auto map location. Do I add like... Does that work? I need to be mindful also of WebGL. I am not super well versed. Well, I'm not well versed at all with WebGL 2.0 compatible with OpenGL 4.5. Like they're similar. Mm-hmm. Okay. Version 100 or 100 can't reproduce. Yeah, this is kind of a rabbit hole right now. I maybe this is not the extension for me. What is linting anyway? Okay. It's installed? Yeah. Yeah. I don't really care. Okay. Wow, like I don't care. I don't care. Stop. Pointless. Okay. I completely forget what I was doing. Okay. We are having our shader. We are having the matrix. We are having a texture. We are having a position. We are having a UV. Okay. but we are not having the EBO is different. So this is called somewhere else. Or not this one? No, not this one. Create shader mesh. That's called here. So this is not really true anymore, right? Or maybe it is. Indices. Well, I can just have a test in the index buffer. This is getting pretty messy. Okay. I'm putting that as 1. I'm disabling that. So now we're just setting like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. There. Because it's not 6 anymore. One. The vertex shader could not compile. So why is this breaking it? No. And I have to use location. Layout. Mm, like I just get a success 0 or not. Or wait, what? GL true. So it's not compiling. But it's not telling me why. What? In? Oops. Oh, okay. Okay. So that did compile. I think it ran without any huge issues. Uh, should it be 6 here? I think it should be. So I have my index. It's instance ID now. But then I have this. No. Right? That was my pseudocode from before. Plus. Mm. So how do I get the vertex from that? Programmable vertex pulling. Buffer textures. Okay. I mean, that's kind of what I want to do, I think. But this texture buffer is still vertexes. The size of... Well, they're not vertices, they're vertexes. Texture unit. RG32F for Vec2. Well, I might have Vec3 in 3D, right? So maybe that's RGB32F. Okay. I might need to do that like manually. So I'm just going to go back to here. So I guess these are similar. Without the indices. I want to do kind of the same thing. But we're doing this instead. So yeah, shader program, vertex count, index count. So I'm not having a VAO. Does that mean, can I just skip that? A dummy VAO? So we generate them. We bind texture buffer. Uh, okay. That's the same for now. I haven't really separated my vertices to anything. Static draw. And then I don't need an EBO. I'd need a TBO. Bind texture. Buffer data. Texture buffer. But there is a GLRGB32F and A32F. So that's useful to know. I don't need to set the oh, VBO. How does that work? Okay. And then that's it. Okay. So we are going to call this one instead. Do I even need it? Like, I don't need that. So the same thing, mesh. Shader programs. Vbuff. That. And stride. Oh. Something is going on. So everything up until drawing could not bind texture buffer to vertex buffer. Mm-hmm. Why though? 1282. I forget what these are called. The errors. Invalid operation. It's always Minecraft for some reason. Um, on what? GL text buffer. Oh, did I? I feel like if we're not drawing, this should still run. Which one? APOS? Yes, I do have them as one vertex. Yeah, is that so? Okay, that makes sense. So here, uh, I do wonder. I think it makes sense to have like a font vertex because a font realistically only needs it only needs that. So then it would be RGBA, right? Do I want to throw that in here now? Maybe I do. So I have my vertex font. Pretty much all the vertices here now is that. But I have a mesh, and this mesh is that mesh is using the normal vertexes. Yeah, well, I am running the program technically. That compiles, but obviously this mesh. Or maybe that's fine. No, it's not. I think it's just too different. Um, Now I need to do all this setup. Shader font. This is going to be very hard to debug. But I'll make a try. Glyph count. There's going to be a lot of errors here, but let's see what happens. Load file. What? I can't even load the file now? Is it working or no? That's not gonna be happy. So let's see what's going on here. Okay. No? Why is that happening? $23 megabytes. I think that's larger than I expected to be. Or maybe not. Why would this work? I can step through it, but I can't just enter it. Well, I need to use the bathroom real quick, so I'll be right back. Okay. That okay, that did work. I'm not sure what was different. Um it's not even really one entity, or not multiple entities, sort of. Still kind of works, I think. But this mesh is incorrect. No? This is just invalid right now. Because in main, we have the entity, right? I have lost my context. I think we need to start from the beginning here. I'm looking for the entity that gets this. I know here I'm setting up a bunch, or no? Only two? Okay. I'm setting up them somewhere. Here, each entity is set up here. But that's kind of not what I'm doing anymore. And this is wrong. That's void star. So technically I can just throw it in here. Right? Man, this is such spaghetti code right now. It's getting difficult to work with. But I'm still in the exploratory phase. Why does that happen? Rasterize, make glyph. Am I running out of RAM or something? Because the font is too large? I can't imagine that's the reason. But again, this is not... maybe I should take a step back and just kind of fix everything that I've made. Draw point, render. It's not even 1 megabyte, dude. It's probably just some kind of warning for something that I'm not checking for because, you know, spaghetti code. It's not a shader mesh. And this shader font, it needs a, where does the texture go exactly? This doesn't take. Yeah, I'm just adding the texture count. So I can override this again. Spaghetti, what the hell is going on? No. Thank you. I'm not taking that. I'm instead taking the state tech OS GFX. One or zero? Zero. So that's just like overriding that. Let's see if I get further. No. It doesn't have a shader program. So here I just add the shader program, create shader font. It is adding something, but in here, It should be 2, but do I ever create it? I should. Yeah. In OpenGL. .c. Why is it so tiny? One, two, three. Oh, yeah. So in here, it should be shader program 2 and it should be something. So let's check. It's something. It's added. $348 is incorrect. But all right. I'm having some really weird errors with malloc. Why? What the hell? That doesn't make any sense, dude. So entity2 dot mesh equals this. And that is nothing. Okay. Something happened. Let's do 20. It should be exactly the same, except that it's farther to the right. And we can also disable the texture. Okay. So nothing is being drawn, I think. We have to check render doc. It looks like there's no drawing taking place. Okay, so there is a draw call. The vertices are 0, yes. So now I think I just need to look at the shader. Mm-hmm. Oh, something is there. It is a texture, I guess, technically. Mm-hmm. So what is it actually doing? So we are using the program. We are binding the vertex array, which is the VAO. It has nothing. It's just the like settings, right? Then we have GL uniform 1I. U font. I guess I should say also that actually I changed my buffer to be like this. Active texture. Mm-hmm. Really? It's not one like 4F or something. Okay. I was having the same issue before. Or the same question before, I guess. You found text? Well, I don't have anything like that. Yeah, I just need to like update these uniforms. So I'm having MEP, U texture, and there's 3 of them. Vertex data. Yeah. And then draw. Okay, that's starting to look okay, actually. That looks like a couple characters. And what if I do just one character? No? Why do you... Okay, that doesn't look like any character. Doesn't make sense why it randomly works. So I want to take a look at that before I finish today, but let's see what we got here. I mean, that is a triangle with a right winding. And the right positions also, it looks like. But the UVs are messed up. Oh no, these are the UVs. No, that seems to be okay. It might be upside down or something, but like, that is pretty close to what I want. But I have had enough of the state of this of these bugs. So right now I'm probably just gonna spend some time trying to tighten it down. So let's say we are having entities. Entities are having meshes, right? But is it really a mesh? So here's the question. Should it be an entity have a mesh and the mesh can be multiple things? Or should all entities have a regular mesh as you would expect? And then if you have something like a font, it wouldn't be an entity, it would be something different. I think it makes more sense to have the entity be shared, and then the mesh can be multiple things. I think that makes the most sense. Right. So that means we're having your font. It's not really a shader mesh. Is it? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Hey, Schnipsel. Yeah, I started to stream again last week. Um, but, one of the reasons why I stopped streaming in the first place was because, I just didn't really enjoy speedrunning that much anymore. It came a point where it was more frustrating than fun. And learning was not as rewarding anymore because it required so much time investment, and it was much more easy for me to get frustrated with doing attempts and things like that. I am doing all right. I wouldn't say call it new hobby, but like my biggest hobby right now is programming, and I never really did it on stream before, so I figured I'd give it a shot. There are some things that I would like to make, um, but there's also a lot of things that I need to learn. So I have built a couple of engines doing simple things. This is the first time I'm using OpenGL, so that's the point of learning this, because I want to be able to run both on Windows and on a browser, right? And for that, you kind of need OpenGL. Maybe there's a way around it with Vulkan, but like the closer you are to the source, like doing what the computer is expecting, I find it's more interesting and fun instead of having all these layers, abstractions, and things like that. Yeah, exactly like you say. When the fun ends, the fun ends. It's not that I can't say that I will never have another like gaming challenge in my life or whatever. It's just, you know, I've moved on. There's still one thing I would like to do though, and that is if you go to speedrun.com right now. Oops. Speedrun.com/Sonic2. You will see that I'm not even on this. And that's kind of sad because like this is the game that I played the most. The reason is because I don't have a video. Like the video was on Twitch and it got corrupted or something. So that's really unfortunate. Now you can see, okay, the world record right now is 13 minutes, while my time was like 15:50 or something like that. Is it all tool assisted runs now? No, not at all. So the rule is just like all of them need to have a video. And if you don't have a video, you know, maybe there's like a way to filter back like missing, you know, apply filters or I don't really know how to make it show up. Like there's a way to do it. Okay, yeah. So yeah, this doesn't work anymore. This isn't even my channel. Like I'm not sure what this is. Um yeah, removed inaccurate. Okay. Yeah, it has been confirmed that it's verified by past community members. They saw the video. It was there. At some point, it was corrupted, and I don't have a backup. So it just kind of really sucks that I don't have a video of my best time in Sonic 2. So that might be like one thing I do eventually. Just, you know, spend a couple weeks trying to grind out like 15 something so that my I can have a PB that is actually on the leaderboard. But other than that, I don't really see myself coming back to anything. Yeah, memories live on, and like you know, I could literally, you know, I can literally go to YouTube right now. And like I could literally go here and I could submit this time if I wanted to have a run on the leaderboard. And that would be fun, you know, it would be interesting, but like I have recordings. Yeah, 2013, that's a while back. So I do have recordings. I just don't have a PB. Was this not Last conference call of the day. I know how it feels. Take care, man. Thanks for dropping by. And if you are curious, I don't have much to show right now, but you can go to my website and you can, like, I will post here projects that I'm making. Like this one I'm building right now. I will make another link here. So if you want to keep up, you can like bookmark that, or you can, follow YouTube or anything you want, really. So yeah, thanks for dropping by. It really doesn't like this shader source. What if I just like remove it completely? Uh, so removing that did help. Now it stopped working. So we need to find out why. Wait a minute. That is the reason. It's just like something with the alignment or whatever. I have no idea. Uh, if I do this, there's no. No. You see? No. So, obviously, something I'm doing here when I'm reading the file is incorrect. It's the vertex shader. Read binary length buffer Yeah, that should fix it. I don't know why that would be an issue, but The issue was that I was writing outside of my. It was like off by one error, and I was writing a 0 outside of the malloc. Okay. So now I can safely read text files that don't have a 0 terminator like that. Or, well, like that actually. So I can re-enable this. But we should still clean it up. I could have a snack. Or some coffee, something like that. So she asked if I'm hungry, and then I said, sure, I could have a bite. And then she said, so you can go make it. It's exactly like this. I guess the duty calls. So husband duties are right now the priority. So, thanks for watching. I guess. And goodbye. I'll be back tomorrow, I hope. We'll see if I'll be let back to the computer. All right. See ya, guys.